What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video here at Cuspide Insurance. Today we are going to be talking about Sales 101. This is your complete course on how to start selling health insurance. This is a beginner's guide to selling health insurance in 2025. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about why you should actually start selling health insurance. I honestly think it's one of the best sales jobs that you can get, especially if you become independent. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But as far as all the insurance businesses, all the sales jobs that you could get into under the insurance umbrella, I personally think health insurance is one of the best just because it's almost a necessity, right? A lot of times you're selling an idea, especially like in stuff with life insurance, right? Nobody needs life insurance, right? It's something that you kind of want, right? And obviously those salespeople try to make you like need it, but you don't need it, right? You don't need life insurance. But you do need health insurance, right? Everybody goes to the hospital. Everybody goes to the doctor. You need it, all right? That's why you're already at an advantage in terms of trying to sell to the client versus any other sales job, right? And you have a lot of flexibility, especially if you decide to become an independent agent. You can work at your own pace, remotely as well. There's a lot of good things about selling health insurance. You can build a recurring income and a consistent income that snowballs over time, where you really don't get that anywhere else. Especially with life insurance, you need to sell every month to keep an income, right? But with health insurance, you kind of build that monthly income that grows over time. So let's start with number one, and it's actually getting your license. Now, the good thing about health insurance, selling through the ACA, selling marketplace plans, you don't really need like a degree. You just pass a course, pass an exam, and you have your license. Now you could sell. So you could either get your 215 license, which is life and health insurance. So that's a route you could take, especially if you really don't know which one you want to dive into. I suggest that one just because you could do either one. If you don't like one, you could go to the other. Or you could get your 240, which is just health insurance, right? Most states do require a 24 hour course before final exam. So it's actually tracked depending on who you sign up with, who you take the course with. But it's tracked, so you need to complete your 20 to 40 hours depending on your state and website before your final exam that you take in person. Usually like 50 questions or so, to probably take you an hour. But it's going to take you weeks to actually study and pass the exam, just because obviously no one can just completely dive into this, right? You have a side job or you have other things to take care of. But after that, you do some background checks and you actually get your fingerprinting. I remember doing that at like a USPS. I did the fingerprinting and I was good to go. And real quick, it may sound weird, but it's not going to prepare you to sell plans at all, right? So you learn things that really don't translate to actually selling and actually having a career, which is exactly why I recommend our ACA Agent Blueprint course, which you can check the link out in the description. It's going to take you step by step from getting your license all the way to the end to becoming a master in the ACA business. But let's continue. Choosing your path as a health insurance agent. Once you do have your license, you could choose two ways. You could either choose being a captive agent or being an independent agent. So a captive agent works for one insurance company, like United Healthcare, Aetna, Oscar, Ambetter. You're sitting at a desk selling for them. And there's pros and cons to being both, right? So with an independent agent, you're not working for one company. You're kind of contracting with other carriers. I wouldn't say necessarily you're working with them or you're working for them, but you're kind of selling their products. So a good thing about a captive agent, it's better for beginners because obviously you have a base salary, but you're going to get lower commissions per client that you do sell. But that base salary is good to get you in the door. That first year as a health insurance agent is absolutely brutal. 90% of insurance agents fail in their first year. So you need to have some sort of backing, financial backing, to actually get your foot in the door and to actually scale, right? So the base salary is good just because it has that foundation for you to begin with. So that's a captive agent, but with an independent agent, you have no salary unless you join an agency, which I'm going to get into now. But you do have higher commissions being an independent agent just because you're contracting one-on-one with each carrier. Obviously, captive agents have that 9 to 5 schedule. If you're working for an office for like Aetna, Ambetter, United Healthcare, something like that, you're going to be at an office. But an independent agent is not going to be at an office. You could be anywhere. You could be selling at a beach. You could be selling, walking the streets of Italy. As long as you have a phone, a computer, you could sell, that's the beauty of being an independent agent, where you scale enough to finally financially be able to do that. So it's a beautiful thing, honestly. Captive agent, obviously easier to start. You have a lot of backing financially as well. And independent agent, much harder to scale up. You are by yourself. Unless, let's talk about the agency. Unless you join an agency, you get access to leads, bonuses, trainings, depending on your agency, of course. They also may take a commission split. Similar to a captive agent, you're really not going to get much per member you sell, just because you're doing so much volume, and that money goes to them. So depending on what agency you join, they may actually take a little bit off the top. So before you join any agency, just ask everything. Clear your doubts on your head, because they're going to end up messing you up if you didn't read something. And check for the release. Can I leave at any time, or am I contracted to be here for like a year or two? Check everything before you actually join, because they promised you a lot and then they end up just taking everything, and you're like, oh well, sign my life away. So just be careful which agency to join, and if you either want to go captive or if you want to go independently. So real quick, if you guys are new agents and you want to get into the ACA business, I promise you this ACA agent blueprint that I designed, it will set you up for complete success. So click the link in the description. I promise you all the information that you see on the screen here is going to change your game and elevate you to the next level. Bunch of agents here making well over 6 figures. I promise you this could be you. So click the link and change the ACA game forever. Next step after that is getting appointed with carriers. Now, if you're independent, you're going to do this by yourself, or you're going to go through your agency, but you have to get appointed with carriers, because you must be contracted with the insurance carriers to sell. Wow, who would have thought, right? So you cannot sell marketplace plans unless you have contracts with them, which is why it's good to have contracts with all of them, so you can give your clients the absolute best plan. Have your documents ready, E&O insurance, your license, your NPN, your W-9. All of these you're going to need to actually fill up the contract and send it to them. It should take a couple weeks to hear back. But just have all these documents ready. So the more contracts you have, the higher chance you have to sell, especially as an independent agent, just because you have more to offer them. A lot of the times, one plan is going to be $5 for your clients. The other plan is going to be $50. Which one do you think they're going to pay? And if you don't have the $5 option to offer them, you just lost a potential sale. So huge to be contracted with all of them. And you can also apply for license in other states as a non-resident. It's called a non-resident license, but you must repeat the carrier process. So if you license yourself in another state, you got to get the contracts in that state as well. So just things to keep in mind. So here is the most important thing, right? This is the most important part of being a health insurance agent. Okay, this is your make it or break it here. It's all about finding prospects, getting clients. Okay, you cannot have a successful career, especially as an independent agent, if you do not find a way to get clients. Okay, whatever the reason, your system is, you have to find something for the clients. So whether that be leads, right? You pay Facebook leads, YouTube, Google. You buy from vendors, depending on how much they cost, if they're exclusive or not. I think at the end of the day, buying from vendors is all the same. Whether you buy exclusive or not, it's all shared leads at the end of the day. So leads are super, super important. You have to find a consistent form of calling, of dialing prospects, of getting them to come to you. The most important thing as a health insurance agent, right? This is where the true skill is. This is where the careers are made. Whoever can get the most prospects to come to them, or whoever has the most consistent form of prospects to keep calling, wins in the long term, right? You cannot have a career here if you do not figure out this piece of information, which is, again, why you should join the ACA Agent Blueprint in the description. I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the end, but it's a blueprint we made here, our course that details everything, so you're not the deer stuck in the headlights. I suggest you highly check it out if you're really serious about joining and becoming a master in the ACA business. So you could either do cold calling, right? One of the forms that you could do is cold calling. You could try just regular old cold calling. A lot of your business is going to come from referrals as well, if you do take care of your clients well enough, and if they had a good relation with you, referrals are going to give you lots of clients. So do take care of your clients, treat them well, help them out, and they will pay you back a million times over. And lastly, market yourself. You have to put yourself out there. If no one knows who you are, how are they going to call you? Who are you, right? So whether that be a website, that's the number one, by the way, is a website. If you could figure out the SEO, and if you could have a established website, the leads are going to flow in like no other. Nothing compares to having a website, right? Social media, by the way, I just realized I misspelled that, social medica. But right now, social media, huge, right? Especially now in 2025, it's everything. So figure out how to market yourself, get in front of prospects, because this is where the real skill is made, right? You could get all the licenses, you can get all the contracts with a million carriers. If you don't know how to sell, if you don't know how to get in front of a client, why you need so many licenses, why you need so many contracts for, right? So super, super important. That's why training and mentorship is so important in this business, because it's going to set you up for life. So once again, ACA Agent Blueprint in the description. Let's keep going to how much you can earn. Everybody wants to know how much you can earn. So the average salary of a health insurance agent in the United States is $55,852, and that is terrible, right? You might as well work construction or something. That's terrible, but you could actually get over this fairly easy. Again, if you just figure out a system. A lot of our agents here are well past that, and let me tell you right now, get close right here. I know agents personally that I've worked with, and they've mentored me, making over $500,000 a year. Let me say that again, $500,000 a year, okay? They're making over $500,000 a year selling ACA. I know a bunch of agents like this, right? Obviously, they've figured out their system. They've been in the game a while. Don't think it's going to be quick. It's going to take a while, but it is possible. By the way, each company will pay you around $25 to $30 per member per month. So you do the math. It's not a high-ticket sales. It's a numbers game. So again, it's all about putting yourself in as many eyes and prospects as possible. If you cannot figure it out, you're not going to have a career here. So your goal is to grow every year consistently. The top agents who are making six figures and way more than that, they started early, right? So, and you can't start early, so forget about that. You can start right now. You can start today. You can start tomorrow, but you got to start, because in a few years, you're going to have a giant book of business that you grew over time. It's not going to be, this is not a get-rich-quick business at all. Click off this video if you think that's where you're going to see yourself, because it's not. But I promise you, you're going to build a snowball effect of recurring income that's going to pay you forever, as long as you keep your clients over time. So the sky's the limit here. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. You can earn so much money here, over six figures, just fine. But you got to know what to do and what you are doing. So once again, please, guys, check the link in the description, the ACA Agent Blueprint. Here it is. There's a bit of information that you can see on the screen here. It's going to teach you everything from selling to explaining the plans to your client to building a book of business, leads, marketing. Everything you need in order to succeed as a health insurance agent is in this blueprint, okay? One-time payment. Check the links in the description. I promise you this will change your ACA business, get you to the next level. If you are a new agent struggling, I promise you this is the blueprint for you. ACA Agent Blueprint, link in the description. I'm going to be your mentor, take you on this beautiful journey of recurring income, of consistent growth over time in the ACA business. Check the link in the description once again, and I will see you inside the blueprint. Hopefully you learned a little something in this video. So to wrap things up, I would say that it's going to be a tough business, but it's going to pay you for years to come, right? As when you continually build that book of business, it's going to keep growing and it's going to keep growing. and it just takes time, it takes effort. It won't be easy. So if you're a new agent and you really want to succeed, you got to put in the time and you got to put in the effort. I know a lot of people say this, but there's no other way around it. It is true. If I did it, you could do it. And I started late, and I'm finding so much success in this business. It's amazing. So if I could do it, you could do it. So check the ACA Agent Blueprint. Everything that I've learned throughout the years, I've put it into this course, and I promise you it's going to take your career to the next level. I will see you in another one. Take care. Bye-bye.